One of the guys that get a lot of credit is Steve Blackman for muscular development. I mean, those guys have done an extraordinary job for years and years and years to promote health, to promote fitness, to promote strength, to promote bodybuilding, powerlifting, weightlifting, and all of those kind of things. So the contributions they made is gigantic, and I hail them for that.
Giles Thomas from musculardevelopment.com. I'm here at after the Arnold Europe 2017 here in Barcelona. I'm joined with my partner in crime. What can I call you, really? Rosie Rascal-Hart, IFBB Pro Champion. We were actually back in the hotel room because it was absolutely crazy backstage, wasn't it, Rosie?
Yeah, I was getting trampled, so we did a quick exit.
Yeah, it was just, it was the same actually in 2011. I was here for the first Arnold Europe that was when it was in Madrid. And that was the first Arnold outside of America that Arnold did. And that was when Victor Martinez won. And I think we managed to get a 1.5-minute interview. Flex Wheeler did the interview with Victor. And literally, it was exactly like it was tonight. We wanted to film the wrap-up on stage, and there's people just everywhere piling on stage. So we thought, we'll come back to the room, nice and relaxed, and then maybe get a glass of wine afterwards. So this was your first Arnold Classic outside of America. What did you think?
Yeah, really exciting show. It was all the way through, I kept on changing my mind. People were getting better. 1 minute someone was holding the stomach well, and then they'd come for the posing round and it had gone. So it was just, you just didn't really know. I didn't really know how it was going to go in the top six. So, yeah. You were really impressed with. I mean, on the play-by-play, you were really impressed with Nathan, weren't you? And then you kind of changed your mind a little bit, didn't you? Yeah, Nathan de
Asha.
Nathan de Asha. When he came out, he was the physique of the show for me. He really shocked. Well, not shocked me. I know he's good, but he really impressed me because I thought he was one of the most conditioned on the stage. He was really dry and grainy, full, and I saw him next to people like Ramy, and I was like, he's holding his own size-wise. I was like, he's going to be second, and then...
Second?
Yeah, I thought...
Oh, wow, really?
I really thought that he was going to be up there battling for second. Mm-hmm. And then when it came to the second round and he did his posing routine, I was like, no, he's fourth. I thought, no way is he going to be second. I just thought he didn't look as impressive. Proportions that just looked a bit off for me because he is quite long in the waist, isn't he?
Very long torso, but he's also very wide in the shoulders. I tell you, well, let's come back to Nathan because the hype for the show, I think, especially after the Olympics, because I was there last week, you weren't. I had a horrible time, me and Ron. I think everyone was kind of just hyping this show as Bonac versus Ramy, because obviously they were 2 and 3 at the Olympia. Now Bonac was actually leading, in second place behind Phil Heath last week after the prejudging, and then Ramy did a switcheroo, managed to sneak into second. So it was obviously a very close tie. Well, not tie, but last week. So obviously, we kind of knew. Do you feel that it was really the Ramy versus Bonac show this year? This week?
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious that these two were going to be up there battling it out, and I guess you just go by what you hear on forums and what the coaches are saying and the hype that builds up. But I've not really got that much experience of seeing either of them live on stage. Okay. I've seen Bonac before guest posing.
So in some ways you're actually more unbiased because you haven't seen him, because maybe I'm thinking, okay, well Ramy's number 2 in the world, Bonac's number 3 in the world. Maybe I am coming with a preconceived notion that it is between those two, but sometimes, I mean, a physique, your physique can change in hours when when you've competed, so maybe it's better to come in with a fresher perspective.
Yeah, and you can never just go by pictures that are being put up through the week or on the forums. So yeah, I mean, I really didn't know how it would go today at all.
Okay, let's go for the top 6 down to first. 6th place with Max Charles. Now, Max Charles, for you, as we were walking back from the expo there, from the hall, it was kind of like Lionel Bayecki was for me last week at the Olympia. I kind of can't remember anything about him. So, I mean, you know, you were like 6th place. Max Giles, you were saying to me afterwards, you know, I mean, explain.
Yeah, I just didn't really notice him through the show that much. I don't know whether it was because I was so focused on like Nathan and trying to look out for Rolie and trying to figure out how those guys were doing. Yeah, I can't really remember.
What did you think of his physique though?
Yeah, really nice shape, pleasing. But I don't want to go into too much detail because I'd be making it up.
You'll just be blagging. I mean, actually, you know, Max Giles did Tampa, the show you did, you know.
Awesome. Awesome. I had him second.
Yeah. Green hair. Okay, 5th place, obviously, we've just spoken about with Nathan to Asha. I was a little bit surprised by Nathan getting 5th. I was kind of pulling for him to get 3rd. I thought he was actually going to pull ahead of Rolie at one point. But Rolie, I don't know whether it was because Nathan faded or because Rolie faded, but I honestly thought Nathan was a solid lock for 3rd, and then maybe, like you said, his posing. I mean, Nathan, he's 31 years old. He won the British in 2014, and his posing was atrocious. I remember his routine; it was terrible. And obviously, he's still only his 2nd year as a pro. So really, but I think his physique has come on so fast, but his posing for me hasn't. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing was he was the very last one on, wasn't he, in the posing round. I know obviously you can't say this is an excuse, but you know, you sat there waiting, and the thing is we've already then seen all the other physiques, and I think for me, because Nathan's posing is just a bit lacking, he didn't have that wow factor that for me someone like Bonac blew me away in the posing routine. I thought he was amazing in all the prejudging, but when he came on for the posing round, I thought, this guy is flawless. He's got everything I can't see.
Are you talking about Nathan now?
No, Bonac.
Oh, Bonac, sorry.
Bonac, when the posing round came, for me, became flawless.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was, I was like, yeah, I think I can see him winning.
Really? Yeah. I think the thing, when going back to Nathan, I think the thing is he doesn't complete his poses. It's like he's kind of doing these nice, slow transitions. You can see he's obviously rehearsed his routine, and maybe he's had it put together for him, and then it's like, doof, and it's like it's an anticlimax for me, and it's really frustrating because he's got such a beautiful physique, and then you see someone like you said, William Bonac, who really, you know, he's that guy. You can see he feels very comfortable up there on stage. So obviously, 4th place was Rolie Winkler from Curacao, now living in Kuwait, one of the camel crew. What do you think of Rolie?
Rolie, for the first half, I didn't get to see him that much. Whenever it was on the big screen, it never seemed to get him. It never showed him close up. So I was dying to see comparisons with him and other people, and I just didn't see that many. So, I mean, I know Rolie's amazing. I've followed Rolie for years, so I knew he'd be up there anyway. But then when I finally started seeing more of him, I was like, oh, he's in the mix. He's really in the mix. You know, the condition was amazing. His back was one of the best backs up there.
Really?
Yeah, I thought I love his hanging. Yeah, I love the hanging lats. And the most muscular, of course, is...
He is the most muscular. Yeah. He is that pose. Yeah. Wikipedia, most muscular, picture of Rolie.
Yeah, there was, you know, a few times after that, I think because I was dying to sort of see a bit more of him. When I finally did, I was like, oh, he's looking really good.
Did you say Holy Rolie?
Under my breath, Holy Rolie.
He looked a bit gutted backstage, man. I mean, we just went backstage, and it reminds me of when I saw him in Dallas in 2012, and I think he got 4th place there, and he was desperate to try and qualify for the Olympia. He just got a new contract with a new car. I think it was BSN at the time, and he takes it hard when he doesn't win. I mean, you know, it was funny. There was this girl trying to take a selfie with him, and he just had his big oversized novelty jacket. I was trying to talk to you, but I was looking over your shoulder, and it's I kind of find the comedy in that sometimes, because at the end of the day, it's you know, Rolie's such a good athlete, and he's he's very prolific. He does a lot of shows, and he's very passionate. But it was nice. What I thought was really nice was seeing the camaraderie between Nathan, Ramy, and Rolie. I think that was really lovely to see. Okay, let's talk about 3rd place, which actually surprised me a little bit, was Sean Roden. What was your take on Sean Roden?
I really I love the classic shape. I love Roden's look, and a few people were kind of saying on the forum he looks soft, he doesn't look conditioned, but from what I could see, I thought he did look conditioned. I thought he looked really conditioned, but he just didn't have that dry, grainy look that some of the other competitors get. But I prefer that. Okay. I like that look. I like it, the a little bit more the old school condition, especially with that shape. And the only thing that I thought was just when he would hit his front double bicep, because he's a little bit bottom heavy, when he would finally get up there, I was expecting a bit more to happen, but he would get up there and it was like, because it didn't match.
I think that's because he was flat. Now, last week at the Olympia, I was very, very harsh critic of Roden because I'm a big fan of Roden. He's won this show in years past. He was number 2 at the Olympia last year, and I was very disappointed at the Olympia pre-judging. His stomach was really bad. He looked kind of flat. He kind of pulled it around for the Saturday. His stomach was in, but he still didn't have that fullness. Now, this week, I feel like he came in, and his condition was good. Actually, when I got up close, I could see his glutes, his hamstrings. He was really, really sharp. But you know what it was? His chest, everything. I tell you what it was. He had condition. He was just very, very flat. I think maybe he needs to look at maybe his loading phase, or maybe just coming in with a different... a different method, because maybe it's like you've recently had some stomach problems, and I think sometimes there's certain things with food allergies where the food isn't absorbed, and maybe he's not eating enough, maybe he's not carving up for long enough. But I think he needs to get that looked at, because last week he was kind of obviously trying to fill up and all just stayed in his stomach, and this week he's coming flat. But and it's tough because you could see his conditions there. So maybe if he had been a bit fuller, he probably would have looked, like you said, that frontal bicep not popping for Sean Roden, there's something wrong. So...
And also, I thought his posing was really good. I think he's a good poser, but I think he could be so much better.
I think he's lazy. I think he's lazy. So, even in his compulsories, like Phil Heath, he's very lazy.
He's hitting these amazing poses, but he's just missing. He's just not turning maybe like 2 inches extra, and then the pose would be really statuesque and beautiful, and he's just missing it.
Just shy. Okay, so obviously second place. I was on the edge of my seat. I actually took a photo of the two of them, and you could feel the tension in the air. And obviously, it went to William Bonac. Now, I'm a big William Bonac fan. I've been this guy's cheerleader since 2010, 2011. I remember interviewing him at the British Grand Prix, and I remember sending the interview over to MD, and they were like, "Giles, we asked you to interview the top 6 guys." And I said, "Well, yeah, but you also want me to get the next generation. You want me to get the new guys." So I like being proved right sometimes.
Sorry, I'm just imagining you in a cheerleading outfit now. After saying you're his cheerleader.
That can be arranged.
Yeah, Bonac, like I say, as soon as he came, when it was the prejudging, because he's quite short and he's quite compact, he has so much muscle for a shorter guy. So in some poses, it did look a bit too compact.
Maybe next to the other guys or the taller guys?
Yeah, I think because when he came on and did his posing routine on his own, and I was like, he's perfect. He doesn't look, there's nothing wrong with him, he's good to go. So, yeah, I like him stood on his own.
Yeah.
Then he's perfect. But it's not that there's really flaws with his physique. There's nothing missing. It's just the way he's built and the way that his lats, because some people's lats tie right into the pelvis at the bottom, whereas others they just don't attach at the pelvis, and he's got those ones that come in the bottom.
I will say this for Bonac. They said 3, even when he moved up from 212, he was 2012, he was 212, and then he moved up into the open, and then when we work out the years, he's come 15th, 8th, 5th, 3rd at the Olympia. Now, even when he was getting 15th place, people were saying his physique was maxed out. He can't get any bigger. He's just going to he's going to lose his shape. He's going to blow his waistline. And every single year he's proved them wrong. So don't bet against Bonac, because like you're saying, maybe he had people, like you're saying there, you maybe think he's maybe got too much muscle, and now, but he's proven us wrong every single year, and he is bringing, he's keeping that refinement. I was talking to Neil Hill about him today, and it's funny how William Bonac and Flex Lewis, two of Neil Hill's clients, kind of, as they've got bigger, they've managed to retain those aesthetics through whatever methods of training and preparation that Neil puts them through. And, he's obviously got a very close eye, so it can be achieved. So I don't think William is, there was people saying William wasn't even going to make top 10 at Olympia this year on the forum, and I was like, that's ridiculous. William Bonac is, he's got that kind of hard-earned, fresh, quality muscle. Everything just it sits really nicely on his frame. So, okay, well, let's talk about Big Ramy. Now, I'll be talking to you about Ramy in the last couple of weeks, and since I've been back from the Olympia, and I've been kind of raving about him because I have been a very harsh critic of Ramy just the last 3 or 4 years, ever since he came into the pros in 2013. So, what did you think?
Yeah, really, he's just really amazing to look at. He's mind-blowing when he's stood on that stage. He's just dominating, isn't he, in pretty much all poses. It's the first time, like I said, that I've ever been able to see him live, compete and on stage. And I'm not really a fan of the bigger, freakier physiques. I'm usually more like Sean Roden, Cedric McMillan. I just love that kind of look.
Pretty things.
Yeah, and but I've got to say, I'm a fan. I am a fan of his. Yeah, I really enjoyed to see him, and some of the poses for me didn't blow my mind completely, but overall, yeah, he's the champ.
I loved his poser routine. It's that powerful music. I think that's he's kind of filling the gap where Dennis Wolf, a couple of years ago, was there with his injury. Because I love the good posing, the classic posing, and he just came out, and I bet Arnold was absolutely having fits backstage, because Arnold, when he came out, when he interviewed Ramy, I knew it'd be one of the first things he said. He says, "What about your posing?" He says, "You really, you're holding your poses so long," and I knew that was kind of. I think he did that for Arnold. I think he chose his music, and maybe he would have come out to some some rap or something like some of the other guys do. But when he did that, I just thought, yeah, he's. But like I said with Ramy, yeah. What do you think?
Personally, I think I would have had Bonac first, but it's so close. The two of them, to see one or the other get first is no big shock. But really for me, I think it's because I analyse the physique more. Maybe I do this because I'm a dancer and I'm more interested in the posing. But I analysed all of the physiques more in the posing round. And for me, that's when Bonac won. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I can actually hear my tummy rumbling on a microphone here. So now, obviously, the next time we see Arnold, hopefully it'll be Rosie on stage, because that's your plans. Do you want to tell us your plans for next year?
Yeah, maybe next year, rather than waiting to do a later qualifier for the Olympia, I thought it'd be nice to go and do the Arnolds in Ohio and see if I can get Arnold to hand me a trophy. I don't know.
Just a hug.
Yeah, just eye contact would be nice. Yeah. So that would be the plan.
Okay, well, yeah, here in Arnold, Madrid, Barcelona, this is something Rosie did last night. We were filming something, and she says, "Hi, Rosie Rascal." Do you want to say what you said?
Yeah, I said, "Hi, Rosie Rascal here at the Arnold Madrid in Barcelona."
Who knew? Okay, well, I think we better wrap this up. Okay, well, it's been a fantastic trip, Rosie, and obviously, thanks for your help.
Thank you.
I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, probably will.
Yeah, probably on the plane, maybe. Okay, with Rosie Rascal Hart, I'm Giles Thomas from muscledevelopment.com.
But one of the guys that get a lot of credit is Steve Blackman for muscular development. I mean, those guys have done an extraordinary job for years and years and years to promote health, to promote fitness, to promote strength, to promote bodybuilding, powerlifting, weightlifting, and all of those kind of things. So the contributions they made is gigantic, and I hail them for that.